Major use of the sense organ of hearing is conversation.
Yes.
Because
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am.
Oh,
How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So your name is Anchal.
Yeah, Anchal Dhaka.
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Delhi.
Okay. And would you like to tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, of
Just
course.
yes.
Sure.
Then please do.
As you know, my name is Anchal Dhaka. I'm from Delhi. I'm a mother and a homemaker. And
Okay.
apart from this, I'm doing MA in Pol Science from IGNOU University, Delhi. That's all about me.
Okay. Great. And have you received the notes for the topic for the day?
Yeah, I have received.
Okay. So you're okay with the topic?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So, firstly, before we begin the topic, it says if you had to lose a sense. So, firstly, can we just recap what exactly are the five senses?
Yeah, of course. But ma'am, please, could you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Priyanka and I'm from Kolkata.
Okay.
Okay. And apart from that, I'm an English teacher. I've been teaching for over 25 years now.
That's
I
great.
have two sons. The elder one is in
Okay.
Dubai and the younger one is 16, 15, 16, and he's going to appear for his 10 boards. My
Okay,
husband is
that's
also
great.
based in Kolkata.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming back to the topic, can we please first talk about what exactly the five senses are?
Yeah. Basically, there are the five senses which we represent as a sense of organs. There are
Yeah.
one is eyes. Eyes is used to see. Second one is nose to smell. Third one is tongue to taste, and ear to hear. And fifth one is skin. Skin is a sense of organ, and we use it as a touch. We can feel something by touching anything.
Okay. So
So
these
these
are our
are the five sense of organs, but generally we have six sense also. It is
okay.
said
Great.
common sense.
Right. So right. So we they are called sense organs. Can you just repeat that, please?
Senses of organ.
No, it's there is no off in between. It's just sense organs.
Organs. Okay. That's okay. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
We'll
Sense
just try that
organs.
again, please. Sense organs.
Sense organ.
Or the word or organs.
Organ.
Yeah. Okay. Much better. Okay, so let's just move forward with the discussion. If supposing if you had to maybe lose one of your senses, then which one would you think would be the most dangerous to lose?
Dangerous to lose. I think eye. Eyes is very important sense
Okay.
of organ. Yeah, according to me, because
Mhm.
without see this world, we how we can imagine the things, how we can understand the things. So I think eyes sense organ is very important for living.
Okay, so if that means according to you, the sense of sight, that is
Yeah,
the
sense of
eye,
sight.
is the most important, right?
Yes.
And what do you think? Which one do you think is the least important sense?
Least
Sorry.
important is I think smell. If we couldn't feel the smell in the right, so it doesn't matter. I think in the living things, living in the living life, it will not
Mhm.
affect much more. As if we lose eyes, so it is more typical. So smell sense is can be loose. It not does affect so much.
Okay, so what are the circumstances generally under which you lose your sense of smell?
Yeah, generally in the cold and sinus problem, we lose this sense, and
Mhm.
it's not affect too much on our lifestyle.
Right. There was also a lot of talk about loss of sense of smell during COVID. It was one of the major
Yeah,
COVID symptoms. Loss of
yeah,
smell, and even taste. That is.
Yeah.
So if at all you had to be, for any reason, God forbid, but if you had to lose a sense, you would prefer to lose your sense of smell.
Yeah. I will
Okay.
prefer to lose my smell sense. Even I have good smell sense, and I recognize from very far that which type of smell is coming. And generally, my son also, when I make Maggie in the kitchen and he is in the bedroom, he recognizes what Mama is cooking.
Okay. तो जो इसको ठीक करो.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is usual. That is the usual with the kids. They can always smell what you're cooking, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there is another interesting thing to talk about as senses. Snakes.
Yeah, snakes
Do you know
listen. Yes, ma'am.
which what is that one sense which snakes don't possess?
They don't have ear. They
Yes.
listen,
Okay,
feel
very good.
by the vibration when they by the skin. So we can say that the snake listen or understand the things by the vibration they feel by their skin.
Exactly. So basically, snakes are deaf. They don't have
Deaf.
ears.
Yes.
So they cannot hear anything. So in addition to these five senses, if there is, like you're saying, if there was a sixth sense which you could get, then what would you want?
This is a call that normal, that when people don't know the normal things, that we generally said that it don't have common, he don't have common sense, because it is
Okay.
by default, by the
Okay, great.
upbringing, by the upbringing there are lots of things we understand by self, no one teach us. So this is comes in the common sense. and
Exactly.
and I will share one thing that I have, generally I feel that I have common sense. Even I
Okay.
recognize by facing the things that will be could be means what would be happen behind this face.
What could happen? We cannot say what could be happened. Be happened is
Okay,
wrong.
what
So
could happen? Okay.
what could happen in the future, or what would happen? Would is even better than could.
No, I'm just trying to say that when the people is hiding something from me, and
When the
by their
people,
talk.
sorry, I'm just interrupting you. When the
Okay.
the people know, 1 minute.
Okay.
When people hide something from me, I automatically know it.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, that is what I think we were trying to talk about. And so that is actually very interesting. And I actually wouldn't have thought of common sense, but it's very good that you actually thought of it. And now let's talk about each of the senses separately. Okay, starting with, say, eyes. So what is the importance of the sense organ eyes? What is the main importance? How does it help?
Yeah, by the eyes we can see surrounding what is going on in with us, and we can see the things, how to walk, how to see
Okay, see, just
see.
1 minute. One thing we have to use with eyes is we have to use the word visual.
Yeah,
Visual.
visual.
So what happens is that even if somebody is, supposing, let's take for an instance, supposing you have a person who's blind, right? And you take him to a open field or any beautiful scenery, and you explain it to him, right? Okay, this is what is there in front of you. He can hear you because he's got ears. He can maybe even smell a little bit of the flowers or whatever it is there, right? He can touch the things in the scenery, but will it be the same as visually seeing it?
No, because he cannot imagine the things without seeing. Before
Exactly.
in the whole life he never see the things, what is the shape, what is the color. They don't know the so how they can imagine without
Exactly.
visuals. So eyes is
So,
very important. That's why I said earlier that it is very important. We can
exactly.
live without ear, because by the scene we can understand the things through action also. It is a
Mhm.
non-verbal body language and gesture postures, we can understand the things. and sleep and tongue, there is the action language. I think you know that. So eye is very important. We can left
Exactly. So,
other
in order
organs.
for us to actually feel something or even understand something, the visual is very important, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like supposing for a blind person, if you switch on a movie in front of a blind person, he can hear the dialogues and everything, but he will not be able to actually see what is happening. So the experience will be incomplete,
Yeah.
isn't it? So the second sense, let's talk about the nose now. How is the sense organ nose important? In which places does the nose play an important role?
Nose, through nose we take breath, inhale and exhale. So it is
Mhm.
also important for living the life. But the smell thing we can left. If we are not smelling the things, it's okay. But it is an important part for of a body. So we inhale air through nose, and nose remove many articles and particles which go in the inside the body,
Okay.
so
So
it
essentially,
remove
they
that
trap
also.
the nostrils. They trap the dirt.
Yes.
Okay. And
Nose.
what about the fact that would your coffee taste as well if you could not smell your coffee?
Yeah, through
Hmm?
tongue we can taste without smell.
But then the whole, like we are talking about why the nose is important. I have understood, I accept the fact that the nose is not perhaps as important as the eyes. But if we were to talk about the importance of the sense of smelling, of smell, now what happens, even a beautiful flower, you'll only be able to see it. You will not be able to smell it.
Smell.
Your son would not be able to smell you cooking Maggie if there
Yeah.
was no sense organ of nose, right? So there are
Yeah.
small, minute ways, perfumes would be of no use to us.
Yeah, means we can understand the aroma and the unpleasant smell, which is
Exactly.
maybe harmful for our body. If there is a some chemical and gases, so through smell we can recognize, so we can far away from those. So it is
Exactly.
the important on the on this is based.
And supposing you have a pile of garbage at home, okay, which is
Yeah.
building up. But if you've thrown something in it, unless you can smell that it's beginning to stink, stink is a bad smell.
Yeah.
So then you
Stink.
won't know that you need to throw. You will still be living in that room. You will not know what to
Yeah.
do.
No.
And another
Yes.
interesting thing is for people who are blind, say for instance, for people who are blind, their nose becomes very
Yes.
important.
Yes.
Because what happens is not just blind. The moment out of the five senses, if you lose one sense, then the other senses become much more active.
More important, yes. And
Isn't it?
it is normal thing that generally who are blind, their nose, their smell is very strong. I hear that
Exactly,
they
exactly. Because they
recognize.
lost the fire, so they can smell it. Like what
Yes.
exactly is happening. Which sense do you think you use the most?
Most generally eyes always visuals is used in until we go to bed, it continue working. And ear also, but if there is a silence it is no use, but eyes always important. Means use, most use. And touch,
Exactly.
touch also you can say. Touch and tongue, taste. Generally people who are foodie, that is very important for tongue taste.
Exactly. So essentially, what happens is unless you're sleeping, your eyes really don't get rest. If
Yes.
you're not listening to something, your ears are getting rest. If you're not eating or talking, your mouth is getting rest.
Rest.
You're not always smelling very strongly with your nose. But
Yes.
eyes, you have to fall asleep in order for your eyes to rest. That
Yes.
is what we always say. And so we've spoken of the usefulness of eyes and nose. What about the taste? What is the use of taste? It's quite obvious, but we'll just talk about it.
It is not too much important for the normal people. Generally people who don't like so much interest in the food, this it is not too much. But yeah, if we talk about the speaking, So it is also important, because without tongue the people cannot speak. So for the spoken, tongue is
Speaking
also
first
important.
can be a problem, and also the fact that you will not be able to taste different kinds of flavors of food. Na? There will be no difference between sweet and salty, and
Yeah,
anything which is hot. You won't be able to
hot,
see
cold,
the difference. Your rice,
sour.
chapati, dal, everything will taste the same.
Yeah,
They will have
bitter, sour, we cannot understand
everything,
the
everything.
difference if
Exactly.
we don't
So
have tongue.
chocolates, whether they are bitter chocolates, dark chocolates, milk chocolates, it won't make a difference. It'll all taste the same. So
Yes.
and lastly, let's talk about skin. Skin, what are the usefulness? What is the
Yeah,
usefulness?
it is also useful. First of all, it is cover our body. It is an important part of our body.
So it
And
provides protection essentially.
protection. Yes. So it cover,
How does it provide protection? Can we say that?
if there is a fire and we feel some hot, so we can protect us from that. And if there is a cold, so we will protect us. So through the skin we can understand the weather also, means the
Okay, so
conditions.
that is the understanding of heat or cold, But the
Yes.
actual main protective power of the skin, the body skin, happens because it's actually protecting all the internal organs.
Yes.
We have so many organs within us,
Organs.
the lungs, the kidney, the heart, even the brain or whatever. But then if you think of a body without the skin, with just the raw bone, so then all your internal organs would also be, and then it would be very difficult to last or live very long. So first thing
Yes.
it is doing is it is protecting internal protection. And then, like
Yes.
you're saying, it is also external protection, right? Because it's protecting you from extremes. And again, because of the skin, there are not these infections which can go internally into your
Yes.
body, isn't it?
Yeah, it
And
protect from the infections. And generally I heard about that because I had some allergy, so I went to dermatologist. So she told me that skin how much important for our body. She told me
exactly,
that if you have under stress, then very first your skin will be affected. So
right.
it will it protect our internal organs, because firstly it affect and you
That's
will
what I said right now. Raki, it protects the
recognize.
internal organs.
Yes, if we are continue are going in the depression, so the internal organs will affect after the skin. So firstly, if you have some problem, means you recognize your problem, where is going
Exactly.
on wrong in our body. So skin is
Whenever
really
there is
important.
anything on our skin, it is always a sign of something actually wrong inside the body.
Yes.
That is,
Yes.
whether it's on your face or anywhere else, any kind of skin infection is actually a symptom of a much deeper issue. And lastly, we talk about the importance of our ears.
Yeah, ear is also important, as every individual sense has importance, and some is more and some is less. Ear also is important. If we talk about ear, so we listen. If I'm talking with you by the ear, using ear sense, so it is also important. We learn so many things by listening, so it
Mhm.
is really important.
Yes, so ears, first major use of the sense organ of hearing is conversation.
Yes.
Because anybody who cannot hear, then you have to rely totally on sign language in
Yes.
order to express yourself. And sign language, it is a good way of learning for, expression, but it can never beat the actual conversation, you know,
Yes.
actual expression, isn't it? And ears also important in certain other ways, like say, for instance, if you're crossing a road, and if for some reason some car is coming suddenly,
Coming.
is coming towards you suddenly, and you're honking, the car is honking, you won't be able to hear. This is one of
Yes.
the major reasons why we are having a lot of accidents with people who are on the mobile nowadays,
Yes.
with the headphones, when they are crossing train lines, because they don't hear.
Yes. While hearing the things, our mind continue process. So what we should
And
do?
it's also a kind of warning in these cases, right? Like
Yes.
suppose even if you're in an office or something, and if there's an earthquake or there's a fire, and everybody around you starts screaming, and they are going out. But if you cannot hear,
Yes.
then you will not know that something like that has actually
Yes.
happened, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
So I think that is about it. And like you said, the most interesting of our senses, of course, is the sixth sense. What do you have to say about the sixth sense?
Generally, it is only that where we use our mind, and common sense is, it is called as a common sense, and
No,
we recognize the things.
sixth sense is not the common sense. Common sense is
Okay.
different. Sixth
Okay.
sense is when you have this very strange, this thing like, कि कुछ होने वाला है, कुछ होने वाला है, that kind of a thing, which you can't explain. Common sense is logic. Like,
Okay.
I have to understand. But sixth sense is generally what we call our intuition.
Okay.
Like, you will have some people, they will suddenly say, okay, I think today this is going to happen. And then exactly
Yes.
that happens. That is sixth sense.
Okay.
Sometimes, people say that they cannot explain why they are saying it. It's as if something in their brain is
Some
telling them
intuitions.
this
Yes.
is going to happen. So that is the sixth sense. Sixth sense is actually our intuition.
Okay.
And it is different from common sense. Common sense becomes our logical way of thinking.
Mind. Yeah.
Okay.
In
Sixth
our mind.
sense is not, you cannot, it's from your soul. No, there is no logical explanation for the sixth sense.
Okay.
Okay. And Achal, I'm sure if you've done sessions here before, you're aware that we are on a timer.
Yes.
And I have another session at 1 exactly. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, this is not in my hand. We are going to be logged off any minute. So I'm just going to spend some time in giving you evaluation. You seem to be a very confident speaker. That is one good thing. You are, but then yes, there are a certain mistakes in tenses and sometimes sentence construction. But otherwise, you don't have any filler problems. Like you're not saying ooh, these kind of things. So that is brilliant. I think the only advice I can give you is to take up as many more sessions as possible and talk as much as possible, because the way forward is to get the fluency is to talk more and more. Whenever you have
Yes,
the time,
ma'am.
please enroll for sessions. You can come back to me. You can come back to any of the other speakers on Clapingo whenever you are okay with it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I today I booked another session with you at 2:30. Yes.
Okay,
So
great.
we'll
So
meet
I'll see you
again.
at 2:30. Okay, absolutely great. And in the meantime, I would appreciate also if you could give me feedback at the end of this thing. There will come
Yeah,
up
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll see you at 2:30 again. Then that's fine. We'll look forward to a new topic at 2:30 then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, Achal. Bye bye for now. I'll see you
Bye
at
bye.
2:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Bye bye.
Bye.